Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to KOB-TV News Conference, Eyewitness News Conference of the Air. My name is Johnny Morris, and it's our pleasure today to introduce you to our special guest, the Honorable Senator from Minnesota, Hubert H. Humphrey. Senator Humphrey, a real pleasure, a personal pleasure to have you on the air here from one Minnesotan to another. Welcome to Albuquerque.
Well, thank you, Johnny. It's good to be here with you. We miss you in Minnesota, but I see that you're mighty happy in Albuquerque.
Thank you. It's a great place, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Yes, I like it here.
The Senator has been around politics for a long time. We don't want to say just how long, but I will remind you, Senator, that one time back in, I think, about 1944, you were still professor at McAllister College in St. Paul. I did a broadcast with you in a small southern Minnesota town, Mankato, Minnesota, where you were on the same program as Senator Clinton Anderson, now from New Mexico. He at that time was Agriculture Secretary.
Yes, indeed.
And that's a long time ago.
That's correct.
There's been a lot of water over the dam since then, and now bringing us up to date, let's talk just briefly about the Nixon wage price freeze. Do you think it's been successful?
Well, of course, it's too early to really know, Johnny, whether this is going to work out as the President has said it would and as some people hope it shall. What has been outlined thus far is a skeleton structure in the Phase 2 program. Of course, Phase 1 was the wage price freeze. That within itself is just what it is. It says it's a freeze. It reveals some of the inequities which presently exist. But in the second phase, hopefully there will be some flexibility, the chance to make some adjustments. The wage board, I think, can be successful. It has labor and management and the public. They're competitive. They'll watch each other, so to speak. The price board is made up of public members, and that will be a very, very, let me say, time-consuming and difficult assignment, because it's very difficult to police the price structure. Sorry to have to use the word police, but to monitor it. And therefore, I do believe that the mayors of every community in the United States, possibly the governor of each state, should ask the mayors of each city to establish a sort of an oversight board, a monitoring board, sort of some local citizens group to police the pricing in the marketplace in each of the communities, because it's only by that kind of voluntary cooperation and citizenship participation that that price board can be effective. One other suggestion I just toss out to you, you know, the Congress has no role in this now. The President appoints the two boards, and that's it. The Congress gave the President the authority about a year ago to establish this kind of machinery. Believe it or not, the President didn't want it. He said he didn't need it, didn't want it, but he now has it. It seems to me that when we renew this authority, which we'll have to do between now and April, that we ought to insist that these board members be confirmed by the Senate. You're giving great power to the wage and price boards. You're really letting them manage the economy, and I don't think that that ought to be done by edict. I think the members of those boards, no matter what their qualifications, ought to be subject to the scrutiny of the confirmation process of the Senate. And I think this is particularly true in the price board, where there isn't any competitive, built-in competitiveness. See, the labor fellows will watch the businessmen, and the businessmen, the labor men, and the public will watch both over on the wage board. Sure. But on the price board, we got to make sure that we really don't get special interest representation. So those are a couple of my thoughts. I think the President's economic program is, it's gotten some public attention and public support because it is action. But where it is weak is in the job sector. Very concerned about it. I don't see much in the program that will assure any degree of new employment to sop up the unemployment, and it runs very heavy. I think right here in your own state, it's almost 6 or 7%.
That's right.
We have millions of new workers coming into the job market in the next 5 years. I think we have to be more concerned about the whole situation of jobs than the present program indicates.